Hi, okay, welcome to this consolidation. What's happening here is we are just putting the learning on hold whilst we take a moment to look at what we've already been learning. So we've gone through quite a lot. These are all exam style questions. So they've all come from exam papers and then just been adjusted slightly so that they can really give you a feel of what the exam questions can look like. I don't want you to treat it as a test. If your mind is drawing a blank and you can't quite remember what you're supposed to do, please, please, please go and look it up. That's going to benefit you far more than just watching me do maths, okay? It's going to work in the same way as our normal sessions do, where you hit pause, have a go, and then press play when you're ready. So the first question, there's 3 on the screen. Have a go at all of those and then hit play when you're ready. Okay, so the first question is to factorize. So 3 terms, 2 brackets, drop the x. It's neg pos, so it's neg, switch that second sign. And the numbers are going to come from 32. So the factors of 32, there are a few, but the one that I really want is 4 and 8. And these can go in either way round because they're both negative. I didn't need to worry about the signs. And that is it. It's factorized. So the second part of this is using the same piece of maths, isn't it? That just mirrors that. But this time it's equaling 0, which means I can go on and solve it. So I take the factorized version and I set each one of those brackets to equal 0, don't I? So x will need to equal 4 and x will need to equal 8. So same number, opposite sign, and that's it, done. This one is our exception to the rule. Okay, it's 2 terms, which would normally go into 1 bracket, but this is going to go into 2. I recognize it because of this negative square number. So drop my x quickly, square root this, which is 10, and then it's plus or minus that 10. And hopefully it has started well for you. Okay, next question is on standard form. So pause and press play when you're ready. Okay, so we have got 1, 2, 3, 4, and I've got an empty bucket there. So 2, 7, 6, 4, and that extra 0. Is writing that as an ordinary number. Writing in standard form means that this decimal point really needs to be here in front of the 4. So I've got 4.07 times 10, and I moved it 2 places, so it's minus 2. Now, these questions, these series of questions came from a calculator paper. So the important thing is to not just take this and put it straight in a calculator. Yes, it's going to give you an answer, but you could be missing those valuable method marks. So you must still show your stages. So we're going to do the numbers first. Okay. Which gives me 1.5. And then you do your 10 to the 6 divided by 10 to the minus 2. Divide means take the powers. That's going to end up giving you that double negative, so they will end up being added, and then you just put that together to finish it off, and that's your answer in standard form. Okay, next one, hit pause, press play when you're ready. Okay, I was a little bit mean on this one, and there is a really good reason for it. It is different. It is something that we haven't practiced in the course at all. In fact, it was something that we did in an earlier course. So why have I put it here? Because I really want you to look at questions you don't recognize and be able to say, what do I know and how can I use it? You have all the skills to be able to answer this, and you probably have done fine, but it's really important that if you do lack a little bit of confidence, remember, you're not on this course trying to learn how to recognize a question. Oh, I know that question, I can do it. You don't want to do your maths like that. You want to just say, okay, there's a question. What can I see in that question that I recognize? How can I use that? And that way you are opening up the opportunity to gain way more marks from your exam. So that's your ultimate goal. So when I look at this and ask myself that question, you know, what do I know? Well, I know that expanding means to multiply out the bracket. So if I do that on the first one, I've got 3 times x is 3x, 3 times minus 4 is minus 12. But it's not crab's claw because the brackets aren't touching each other. But I can obviously expand this bracket and get rid of this one in the same way. So 2 times x is 2x, it's a positive 2, so it's positive 2x. And then 2 times 5 is positive 10. So that's me expanding the brackets, using what I already know about expanding brackets. Simplifying means putting together the groups. So I've got an X group and I've got a number group. So I've got 3 X's at the beginning and it's a positive 3. So I have 3 of them. Here are my other X's. There's 2 of those and it's telling me to add. It's really important that I'm looking here at my instruction of what to do. Lots of people go wrong for that reason. So 3x plus 2x is 5x. And then obviously I've got minus 12. And when I add 10, I end up at minus 2. And that's the final answer on that one. Okay. So yes, it was different. Probably won't do it again. I might do something else where it's like, well, you haven't seen this exact question, but I know you've got the skills, give it a go, just to build that confidence and that just courage to have a go at things. Hopefully it went well. Okay, next question. I think you'll agree that looks more familiar. Hit pause, press play when you're ready. Okay, so this is crab's claw. So m times m is m squared. And then we've got m times 8, it's positive 8. So 8m plus 7m. And then don't forget your timesing, not adding. 7 times 8 is 56. Collect up the middle and you've got m squared plus 15m plus 56. That's your equivalent expression. On to the next one. You've got your x times x, which is x squared. Then you've got minus 2x plus 3x. And don't forget that that is not 3 take 2. It is 3 times negative 2, which is minus 6. And then we just tidy that middle up. So we've got x squared. Minus 2 plus 3 will take me to positive 1. So I've got 1x. If you've put the 1 in, it's fine. Don't think you're wrong or you're going to lose marks because you're not. It's just that a single x on its own is 1x and we just don't show the 1, do we? All right, so that is the crab's claw done. Here is your next question. Hit pause and press play when you're ready. Okay, so this question is asking us to give an answer in standard form. So we've got an option here of either doing the numbers as we see them and then changing that answer into standard form at the end, or changing into standard form right from the off. That is what I'm going to do. Now, it's going to work either way, but the reason that I'm going to put it into standard form first is because it is easier to work in. That's why we have standard form. I'm able to take certain shortcuts, etc. It's not the easiest of questions, regardless of which way you choose to do it. So let's first of all get our standard form into the question itself. So my 0.08, I would have to move that 2 places. So 8 times 10 to the minus 2 is my equivalent for 0.08. For this one, I need to go 1, 2, 3. I need to go 4. So that's going to be times 3 times 10. And it's minus 4, remember. The denominator is 1, 2, 3. So it's going to be 1 times 10 to the minus 3. Now it's just a case of working through what I've got. So I've rewritten the question. I'm going to be just concentrating here on the top. Let's tidy that bit up first. So 8 times 3 is 24. And the minus 2 needs to be added. It's a times question. So it's going to be minus 2 plus minus 4. The plus and the minus make a minus. So minus 2 minus 4 is minus 6. And that is all over 1 times 10 to the minus 3. Next bit, I'm going to do the division. 24 divided by 1 is 24. 10 to the negative 6 divided by 10 to the negative 3. Okay, I've got to take away, because it's a divide question, which is then going to create an add 3. Minus 6 add 3 is minus 3. Now, it's not in standard form yet because it's 24, not 2.4. So that will become 2.4. This side has become smaller, so this side must become bigger. So it's 2.4 times 10 to the minus 2. There is, well, you can see how much I've written down. There is quite a lot of work to be done. If you did it in the numerical way, then again, absolutely fine. If it's come out at 2.5 times 10 to the minus 2, then it worked fine for you doing it that way. Okay, there is your next question. So hit pause, press play when you're ready. Okay, so another standard form, doing the numbers first. 12.8 times 4.4 is 56.32. Then do your powers. We've got 10 to the 7 times 10 to the negative 12. So we add the powers, which ends up being a take. 7 take 12 is minus 5. So putting that together gives me this, which isn't standard form because we've got 56, not 5.6. So that's going to come in one place. All right, and it's made it smaller on that side, which means we're going to make it bigger on this side. Times 10 to the minus 4 is the final answer in standard form. Okay, always is such a good tip. Always go back and reread your question to make sure that you are answering it in the way that they want it answered. Because we've done so much work here to get to this answer, it can really feel like we're done. Okay, finished. Next question. When actually, when I go back and check, it says we have to have it as an ordinary number. So minus 4 means I need to move 4. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. That decimal point is going to end up there. 0 point. I've got 1, 2, 3 zeros, then 5, 6, 3, 2. And that is my final answer. Okay. There's your next question. Hit pause, press play when you're ready. Okay, we're just going to factorize this. So 3 terms, 2 brackets, drop in the F. It starts pos, so we keep, oh, didn't put my F in. There we go. Starts pos, so we keep everything as it is. We're looking at what multiplies to make 30, so the factors of 30. I know I need to make a 1. 5 and 6 would be the correct combination. Now I need to get the 5 and the 6 in the right positions. So I go back here and double check. Want to make a positive 1. So I'm going to do 6 and then take 5. 6 take 5 is 1, positive 1. So that is that factorized. Okay, here's your next question. Hit pause, press play when you're ready. Okay, this question really is not as hard as it kind of feels when you first look at it. So you've got this box that weighs that, and you've got to work out the weight of 10 of them. So you times by 10, because I have 10 lots of these boxes, which is going to give you an answer of 6 times 10 to the 4. And that is it. Sometimes the wordy questions can just put us off a little bit, but hopefully it didn't. Okay, next question. Hit pause and press play when you're ready. Okay, so we've got to take our time here because obviously we've got this extra digit in front of the x here. So we've got 2x times x, which is 2x squared. Then we've got 2x times minus 2. So that's minus 4x plus 3x. And then 3 times minus 2 is minus 6. Collect up your middle, and you've got 2x squared. Now, minus 4 plus 3 is going to take me to minus 1. So it's minus x minus 6. Okay, so this one means x minus 5 times by itself. So it looks like that. And then you do your crab's claw. X squared minus 5x minus 5x. Be careful here, you've got 2 negatives making a positive. 5 times 5 is 25. Collect up the middle, and you've got x squared minus 10x plus 25. Okay, so hopefully that has gone well. Here is our next question. Hopefully we can squeeze it all on. There you go, just about. Hit pause and press play when you're ready. Okay, so this is just the type of question we see at the end of a foundation paper. We see it at the beginning of a higher paper. And it really is just appreciating where to look, isn't it? So we're being asked to write down the roots when this equals 0. When it equals 0, then I'm looking along the x-axis. It crosses here at -1 and here at 4. So I would be writing down x equals -1 and x equals 4. Okay. And we've got one more question. So this is the last one of this session. So hit pause and press play when you're ready. Okay, so I've got to solve. I can see that it's a quadratic. It's equaling 0, which is important. I can't solve unless it does equal 0. It doesn't tell me to factorize, but that is my method. So I'm going to be factorizing this first of all. So I drop the x, it starts neg, so switch it round on the second to a plus. And then I've got 24. So I've got to think about what multiplies to make 24. 8 and 3 are the pair that we want because we're trying to make a 5, and 8 and 3 will help us make a 5. But we've got to pay close attention. I want to make -5, which means the 8 has to go here and the 3 here, because -8 plus 3 is equal to -5. So now I just need to get each one of those brackets to equal 0. So x will equal 8 and x will equal -3. So same number, opposite sign. And that's it, okay? So I really hope that that was a useful opportunity to, like I say, not cram in some new learning, but just take some time over what we've already been looking at. Obviously, next session, we will be moving on to our next area of work, which is slightly different. So I will see you then.